Hey guys, this is your host Eric. Today we are going to watch action genre movie called War. Spoilers ahead, turn on your subtitle, I greatly appreciate your support. Enjoy the video. Two FBI agents, John Crawford and Tom Lone, are at a dock warehouse in San Francisco where John is smoking cigarettes. Tom inquires as to what he is doing, as he does not normally smoke. He asks if Jenny, John's wife, knows, to which John responds that she doesn't and asks him not to tell. Tom smirks and declines. Tom offers a toothpick, which he claims can help you resist the urge to smoke. John simply laughs and discards the toothpick. They notice a sound behind them. Tom inquires of John how many shooters he counted in the same warehouse as the Chinese triads. John responds 5 or 6. Because the enemies are well protected, it is obvious that they were forewarned. John begins to complain, claiming that they both lost 2 years of work as a result of it. Another sound is heard, and Tom asks John to investigate. As long as it's just a look, John says. He'll go the tooth, then reload their guns, a shotgun for John and a pistol for Tom, and head off to the harbor. They slowly make their way around the cabin, checking every corner before entering the door. John notices a bullet casing on the floor with the assassin Rouge's markings. John warns Tom, but Tom has already entered the harbor building and met the Chinese tribe. They begin exchanging bullets, but Tom expertly kills a large number of people. When John realizes Tom has begun firing bullets, he rushes into the fight, knowing he can't leave his partner alone. The two kill a large number of people at the harbor, demonstrating their abilities as gunmen. John is fearless in his engagement with the triads, not even ducking and taking cover. He's just marching forward, shotgun in hand, ready to fire if anyone approaches. Rouge has fallen into the water following the shootout, and Tom comes up to check on John, who replies that he is fine. Tom then extends his hand to John, who gets up and asks if Tom has them. Tom responds that he shot him in the face and that the man is no longer alive. John then remarks that the world is full of people who believe they murdered the man. Tom mentions that it appears John knew the individual, and John claims that the Yakuza had hired an independent contractor to deal with the triads, and that individual was supposed to be them. He also mentions that the CIA used him and that this guy is a myth, as is the story about him killing his handlers. He takes up a bullet casing and shows him the man's symbol. The two continue to converse until the cops arrive. The cops order them to remain motionless, but the two show their badges. A few days later, Tom is at home when he receives a phone call from John. Tom's wife answers the phone and asks him to hold while she retrieves the phone. She asks Tom to tell John that he cannot smoke in front of the kids and that she thought he had quit smoking before she hands him the phone. Tom then answers the phone and John begins to speak with him. But in the middle of their conversation, John's wife interrupts him and takes his cigarette away. She then picks up her daughter and the two go shopping. The case is then discussed by Tom and John. John discovers that Rouge's body was never found. Tom also informs John that Rouge's body has been devoured and that Rouge has been presumptuous. After speaking with Tom, John hangs up the phone. He then informs his wife that they need to get some steaks. John and his family intend to pay a visit to Tom's home. Unfortunately, it has been revealed that Rouge is still alive. Rouge discovers Tom's residence. While Tom is in the bathroom, he enters the building and begins beating his wife while hearing her screams. Rouge shoots Tom and throws him through a door when he comes out. He falls inside and sees his wife hugging his daughter while they both scream for them. Rouge first points a gun at Tom's head, but then he points the gun at his family and fires 2 shots Rouge, before setting fire to the house and fleeing. John is asleep in the car when his wife, who appears concerned, wakes him up. There are numerous police officers stationed outside Tom's home. The house appears to have been set on fire. John rushes out of the car and begins walking towards the house. A cop tries to stop him, but when he shows his badge, the cop lets him go. The cop then informs him that there have been 3 fatalities. One of them is a man, one is a woman, and one is a child. One of the body bags is opened by John. He starts gasping for air and then looks at his wife, who appears to be crying as well. John enters Tom's burned-out house and begins searching for clues. As he sees the shells, he realizes they are Rouge's gun shells. A cop informs him that CSI must sweep the scene and that they must perform their duties. John then stands up and walks outside, putting on his glasses before opening his fist to reveal a bullet casing with a Rouge's logo. A man is later seen driving a sports car to a club. He is admitted to the club right away. Inside, people keep dancing as the mystery man walks through them. Some triad members are shown looking at this through their cameras as the man slices the necks of some guards and walks into the private area. He is following a man being led by a prostitute. A prostitute runs out of a side room, crying, carrying her clothes. A member of the triads then walks out and sits in the center of the room on a chair, as his thugs continue to gamble. The girl flees the mystery man, and he enters a room where the man he is following is having sex with the prostitute. He shoots the man in the head, and all the gang members grab guns and begin searching for the source of the calm. Their cameras go off, and the Triad boss orders his dogs to find the man. The dogs bolt in pursuit of the intruder, but as they round the corner, they squeal, followed by silence. The man then appears around the corner as the gang members begin shooting at him, believing he is dead. The boss dispatches one of his goons to investigate, but when he fails to return, he summons him. But this time, one of his dogs comes around the corner and settles down next to him. He has a bomb tied around his neck, which explodes and kills everyone in the room. Rouge is then shown approaching a Triad member, and when the man questions why he betrayed him, Rouge shoots him. John seeks retribution for his companion and vows to assassinate Rouge. Rouge appears to be working for the local mafia Chang when he murders his son and dupes him into thinking it was done by the app. He then informs the man's brother about a man working for Sheriff, directing him to a tea house where rival gangs fight while Rouge sits in a window picking off anyone coming out with a sniper gun. Rouge is a skilled fighter, an excellent liar, and an expert at vanishing quickly while still working for Chang's tribe. He works for the Japanese ZA and executes Chang at their request. He did not, however, carry out the mob's full command by failing to assassinate Chang's wife and daughter as promised. John tracks down Rouge after discovering that he had plastic surgery to change his appearance. Victor Shaw's current identity was confirmed by the surgeon who performed the procedure. John obtains photographs of Rouge murderers. Thanks to his watchmen, she's assassins and helping Chang's wife and daughter into a car. He gives these photos to Shero, who is lured to San Francisco by Rouge with the help of a pair of precious gold horse statues from Japan, one of which is a forgery. Shero orders his men to torture Rouge in order to find out where Chang's wife and daughter are being held. But Rouge flees and kills Shera's men. He killed almost everyone except Shero before detonating the bomb he had hidden in the second suitcase. He decides to use a sword to fight Shero. When Shero wonders why he is doing this, he picks up a sword as well. Rouge explains that it's because Shera directed a murder. Shero mulls over which of the various orders was for the assassination of Tom Lone and his associates. He should not have ordered the killing of the women and children. Shero immediately recognizes the rogue as none other than Tom Lone. Tom's family was murdered by Rouge, but Tom was able to avenge them. After murdering him, Tom underwent plastic surgery to portray himself as a rogue. Tom returned to San Francisco to kill 3 years after Rouge and Tom's family were murdered. She has opponents. Tom intended to kill Shero in order to avenge his family's death. The mob eventually loses to Rouge's skilled fight. Another shocking revelation. Everything happened because John allowed it to happen. This adds an intriguing twist. As Rouge beheads Shero after discovering the truth, Chang's wife receives a parcel containing the original gold horse statue and a message from Rouge saying, "Make a new life." Her daughter, who had returned to Japan, receives the same message, as well as a bag containing Shero. Rouge summons John to a meeting at the first known location for both of them, and John sends a sniper to assassinate Rouge. Rouge and John are fighting fiercely. When they finally meet, Rouge reveals himself to be Tom Lone. Tom's gaze is recognized by John, who apologizes and asks if he can ever forgive him. Rouge is Tom's new alias. When the FBI agent assigned to shoot Rouge attempts to shoot him, John steps in front of him, and Rouge kills him in the back. Tom, dressed as Rouge, drives away in his car with a suitcase full of money from the tryout. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.